Hi everyone, I'm Craig McGinn, our soccer general manager here at League Apps. And I recently joined from Steel Soccer, where I was the executive director. And this is my teammate, Jenny Trays, who is our community manager here at League Apps. Jenny and I are thrilled to be joined today by Nick Mulvaney, the founder and executive director of Chicago City Soccer Club. I'm sure most of you know that they are also one of the most influential youth soccer clubs in the United States. Nick, I just started working here at League Apps a few months ago, but because of my background over 20 years in the industry, I've been very familiar with your organization. And it's incredible to see Chicago City grow and prosper during that time. So today we're excited to learn more from someone who was there from the very beginning of your organization. And today we'll dig into what makes your organization unique and how you've partnered with League Apps for your vision and future. So to kick us off, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your organization?
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words. My name is Nick Mulvaney from Dublin, Ireland. Been over here now 18 years, did the whole scholarship kind of pathway. 2013, was very lucky, very fortunate to kind of start up my own club based off another club, which was obviously Chicago City Soccer Club. And we're going into our 8th year now, and it's thriving. We're a non-profit. We're a Illinois 5-star awarded kind of club, which is all based on your standards on and off the field, from players, coaches, all different types of education with parents, etc. And we're based downtown. We're bang in the middle of Chicago. And yeah, it's been an incredible journey, like you said, so far. So looking forward to the future.
That's awesome. I look forward to hearing even more about the organization. I met you, Nick, coming up on about a year now, and I've been impressed with everything I've learned about your organization and your leadership. I can imagine as a founder and leader of Chicago City, your organization is your baby. You want to make the best choices when it comes to who you hire, who you partner with, who you bring into the fold, to ensure that you're serving your athletes in the community the best that you can. Can you tell us about what you were doing before you were working with League Apps, and what kind of challenge you were looking to solve, and why you took a chance on us?
Yeah, and again, thanks for the words, Jenny. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was just, I mean, like every other club, especially when I was starting out, we were just trying out different things, different programs, communication platforms and websites, etc. And within the first 4 or 5 years, we kind of bounced around a little bit and just trying to find what really worked for us. And it came to a year and a half ago, and we just decided like we needed everything on one platform. Like it was just getting, and I'm very anal when it comes to those kind of things, and I wanted it to be just so streamlined for the members that it's never an issue that's coming back to us that we have to worry about, for example. So we started shopping, found you guys through a lacrosse group that was here in Chicago. Amanda from East Coast, she was using you guys, and just started the conversation. And once we started talking to you guys, it was just a great fit. But knowing and seeing you guys were just looking at things a whole different way from an innovation piece. And then when you guys came to Chicago, I think in the spring before we even signed with you, I was on one of your panels, and that was actually my first ever panel. It was a great experience. But the questions that Jeremy, brought up that day, and sitting with other sport organizations where usually I'm just around soccer guys, right? I think there was basketball, lacrosse, and volleyball that day. It just opened up my eyes. It was like, no one's been doing this, and they should be doing it. So, we jumped on it. I joined the Soccer Advisory Council, which now Craig's obviously a great part of, which I'm looking forward to that this year. And just the conversations that were going on. And the other thing for me was you guys partner with really good organizations, like big organizations, small organizations, but people like myself, I feel like that are innovative, entrepreneurial, looking for that next thing and helping not just grow your sport or grow your sport, but just grow sport in general for the youth. So yeah, it was brilliant. And the last thing was the Next Up, which came last October. And that just blew me away. Like just me and everyone from your staff, it was just brilliant. I mean, the whole event, the leadership from you guys, it just fitted really well for us, and it's been great so far. So, thank you.
Thanks for those kind words. We appreciate your input there. So now that you've been using the platform for a year of your programs, what stands out when it comes to the actual software platform itself, and in particular, how has it helped you manage and grow your organization?
Yeah, I think more of it is behind the scenes, right? And I don't do a whole lot of it in terms of the registration and kind of setting up the program and the website. That's our operation team. But for them, they've been blown away by it. It's just made our lives so much easier. Everything's quicker. It's cleaner. Just an overall feel of it for us, you know, as an operation system has been just outstanding. You know, our coaches the same way. Like you've got to make their lives as easy as possible. And then last year we started for the first time like a la carte program, which we've never really done. We would just usually do our, you know, your general fees for the club. We started doing extra tournaments, winter leagues, and the kind of setup for that was, it was mind-boggling how easy it was, and just again how simple for the parent just to click, you know, pay their fee for a la carte, and then it's straight into the app, and it just, again, it was just brilliant. And then I think we've done, you know, the team manager route before, which was fine, it was okay, but we moved away from it just because, you know, things would kind of dribble out throughout the week in communication. Then we had the coaches do it, who are like, our staff are all full-time, so they 4 teams, which again becomes a lot of work. And then we moved into this year where it's just more from HQ. So for me and Heather, who's our operations, and it's just, you know, the coaches can obviously back it up with an extra email, but it's just streamlined so well for us, and we've had a lot of great feedback on it. So we're very happy with it. Let's just say that.
Brilliant, and that's great to hear. And you know, this concept of feedback is something that we really embrace at League Apps, and it's great to hear that you've had feedback from coaches, players, and parents specifically on what it's like to use the League Apps platform. Is there any one moment that you can relate to that jumps out that you could share with us today from your organization?
Yeah, I mean, the last 6 to 8 months, right, since COVID hit, we're out, you know, I was at the fields the last couple of weeks with the parents and getting so much just compliment and feedback of just how we've dealt with it, but how, again, the communication platform has been so easy for them. The text, obviously, and the emails, and just how we've been able to do that. So through a time where communication is so crucial, it's really kind of, I guess it was, in a way, it was good to have those few months like learning about it. So when we got to March, it was easy for us, right? And it's just took off from there. And yeah, it's I would say that has been the big highlight for us, is being able to get through the last few months as well as we have and again, with great feedback from that communication piece.
That's incredible, especially because COVID has had such an impact on youth sports. So it's great to hear. We at League Apps and I personally care a lot about the platform, making it easier for kids to be able to play and parents to register and coaches to focus on coaching and you to focus on leading your organization. Right. So Nick, I know you're a member of the Soccer Advisory Council, and that's where we've had the most interaction. And I know that you're very forward thinking. You're always thinking about how you can make an impact and move your club forward. What have you gained from being part of this forum to connect and share challenges and ideas with other soccer leaders? And beyond that, how has the broader League Apps community, through events or other platforms, helped you, you know, now in the last 6 months and more broadly?
Yeah, no, the forum, that platform for us, for me especially, was and has been exceptional. You know, we do that monthly call, and you know, the conversation could go anywhere, but obviously we do have an agenda on it, and it's just great to hear so many different opinions and ideas from across the country. It's something that I always wish we had more of, and you guys again have led that piece, and it's been really, really helpful. And again, like you say, in the time we're in right now, just to be able to bounce ideas off people. And again, I kind of always go back to is like the organization you guys have chosen, especially for the advisory council as well. Mm-hmm. Are, again, good people doing it the right way, and to be able to lean on them with the experience they've got. You know, again, I'm only not even 10 years in this position, right? So there's a lot of new things I'm learning and want to learn and get better. And there's some people on that have been around for many, many years, and it's great to be able to pick their brain. And then everyone's open to sharing, and that's key, right? Because when you're in your own marketplace, I don't think I am, but I think a lot of people are very protective and they don't want to share ideas. So to have that platform again, where it's just an open book, right? And everyone is just sharing ideas and then nitpicking those ideas and side conversations, whatever that might be. But yeah, it's been great for me. I've really enjoyed it and looking forward to it, for more of it. I can't remember the second part of your question.
Yeah, it was just kind of beyond the Soccer Advisory Council, how have you kind of leveraged the broader League Apps community to help?
Yeah, I think just picking those people's brains and just being able to reach out and know that you can reach out, right? And know that these kind of people want to help the bigger like part of the industry, right? It's not about, and again, different sports. Like Amanda with lacrosse, she's phenomenal. Love speaking to her. I mean, sometimes we talk, it's like 2 hours long, right? But it's about sport. It's about the, like you say, the impact. It's about youth. The sport doesn't matter what it is, really, right? So to be able to get those different ideas, because I would never really have talked to anybody or known anybody in a different sport, to be honest, because I'm so focused in the soccer world, right? Yeah. And then the convention we go to is all soccer coaches. So again, the next little piece coming in, speaking of volleyball, ice hockey, like sports that I'm not even familiar with really, and learning more about them it's been brilliant for me as well, obviously for the club, because it benefits from it.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And I personally, would back up that sentiment. I really enjoy being part of those conversations, and the whole connectivity we offer at League Apps is a huge value add to our organization. One thing I've specifically noticed is that you're incredibly savvy when it comes to your virtual presence, both as a club and as a leader. You were out there pre-COVID, and then with COVID, I think everyone realized the importance of this. How has that pandemic impacted how you personally think about the importance of things like social media, websites, branding, and your general online presence for your organization?
Yeah, great question. And I know there's a lot of hardship and negativity and bad stories and bad news in the last couple of months, but I will say, and it's one of Bruce Lee's quotes, that in chaos there's opportunity. And I leaned on it. I just went full head when this all happened. I was like, right, just what can I do? And I just was beating my head every day of like different ideas, and we came up with some fantastic ones, and some maybe didn't work as well. But for me, it was an opportunity for people to really see who we were as an organization. But I also, my personal brand of who I am, and that leadership, like you say, and, going back to integrity and values and just being a good human. And there's a lot of, and we've probably seen them all, there's a lot of organizations and businesses that took advantage in the opposite way. So it's been a great way for us to tell our story. It was kind of like for everyone, it was a pause, right? We went back on the field. It was like, okay. And I used it. One of the big things was like, right, how do I not only tell my story and who I am, was my coaches, right? They're the ones who are on the field. They're the ones that are impacting these kids every day. So we did like little interviews with them of their personal life, their journeys, and it was really, really cool. And I learned some stuff I didn't know about them, right? And it was just, for me, was to really just show who we are, what we're trying to do, and just leading it in that way. And honestly, I do think we've done a really, really smashing job with it. I know when it comes to social media, there's a lot of clubs or a lot of people that are just like, it doesn't mean a whole lot. But for me, it's huge. And we were one of the first, I believe, when we started doing Twitter before Instagram really became a thing. And I had all our coaches create professional Twitter accounts. And I was like, here's the kind of content I want you to post. Keep it, personal in your own teams and things like that. But it wasn't about wins and losses and things like that. Or the pictures were not just of a soccer field with a kid that you can barely see down the lens, right? And just over the years, we've just kept at it and kept trying to learn and evolve. And you with your TikToks now, and your Snapchat was big at the time as well. It's just finding those streams, not just for the kids to be able to interact with your club and your staff, but also for the parents to like really see, okay, like you said, Chicago City, this is who they are. And I think one of the proudest moments for me, I had a buddy who I met at a wedding a few years ago. I actually met him through a wedding, so I just met him. And he called me up last year and he just said, Nick, I've been watching you for many years now. I've seen the progression. I've seen everything you're doing. And the one thing that stands out to me is it seems like you're consistent with your messaging, your mission, your integrity. And there's no fluff. There's no lies. It's like, this is who you are. And that lo and behold has turned into Houston City, which my buddy lives in Houston. He wanted to know how to start a club. And I was helping him just, different ideas of how I did it. And he's like, well, why don't we just do it together? So now like we have a Houston City in down there, and COVID's we only got one team at the moment because COVID messed that up. But that was a really proud moment for me, for someone from the outside looking in to go, okay, and that clicked with me and go, okay, it's working. The messaging is getting out there. So it's huge. And I think people really need to take more time to put the effort and the work into it, because it's not easy. That's for sure.
No, it's not. And I know that I enjoy following you on LinkedIn and all the podcasts you're on and all your posts. So I can tell that you see your role both as a leader of the organization and the organization itself as more than just soccer, right? It's broader than that. And we've had many conversations about this, but you are socially active. You're a leader who understands the broader platform of sport and the power of sport and how sports can kind of elevate people and bring disparate groups of people together. So how are you thinking about the future of soccer and how it relates to our current social movements, especially around accessibility and inclusion? And how are you thinking, I guess, specifically at Chicago City, and any other advice you'd have for organizers who are looking to make their club more than just about soccer, but getting involved socially and having an impact on the broader community and broader social issues?
Yeah, another good question. Again,
there's a lot in there, so take your time.
No problem talking, as you can tell. Yeah, like for me, like it's always been again more than soccer. Like I mean, I grew up playing soccer, so it seems like a walk. It's all I ever knew. But to me, there was always something more. And the boy club I played with in Dublin kind of taught us that, and it was more of just a soccer club. It was a community. So I've tried to replicate a lot of what I grew up with, which kind of makes it easy because I've been a part of it, right? But what I will say is, and I always get made fun on top of some of the lads, is like Nick's always in meetings, or he's always on calls. And I stepped away from coaching teams now 4 or 5 years ago, like you know, doing a full year-round team. I do our WPSL team in the summer, but it's 2 months. But I didn't just step away because I didn't want to coach, because I love coaching. But I seen an opportunity of like no one's really doing, which was the connectivity within the community and different groups. Like, you know, for me, mental health is huge. So I went out and kind of tried to meet these other groups that were working on that. And we had them come in and do workshops with our coaches. We were working towards parents and players this spring again. We'll get back to that. But I kept looking for those other organizations that I felt not just elevates us from a marketing point of view, but it's actually real stuff that can help, right? It can help me as a leader, helps me, helps my staff, helps us kind of come together, makes us a better team. So I spend a lot of time going out in the community and finding these groups. And we found, because of the pandemic, more people are opening their doors and more people are willing to talk, which again, it was this paused. And like, I know, again, like I said, there's a lot of negativity around COVID. I am so happy it happened in a way, or it's happening, just in terms of it seems to bring everyone together. And that's across all platforms, every industry, whatever you want to call it. But it's been amazing to see how people come together. And you guys have shown that as well. But so recently we've had a couple of groups that are coming together with a lot of different initiatives, which we're excited to roll out once we kind of can. We didn't want to do a whole lot just, you know, through this period, because a lot of change, and you just want to keep people on the kind of simple, straight and narrow right now, is just get back to playing. But we got a couple of groups we've been talking with a couple of months now in and around the city, who do amazing work in the communities, you know, getting kids in urban areas into play and getting those high school kids into like kind of a coaching environment, leadership, getting them ready for college. There's a financial group there that's helping out with that as well. It's helping us kind of match our scholarship program. And then we got reached out by a supporters group from the Fire and Red Stars, which are our pro teams, called Black Fires. And it's a African-American black group. And they're trying to obviously do more in the community with everything that's going on. And they came to us based off seeing our social media and our website going, these guys look like they care. And again, another proud moment. So I'm bringing all them together right now, which is really, really exciting. And it's the stuff I just love to do. So in terms, again, yeah, like during the COVID period and the future, is you've got to get out there. You've got to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. And that's kind of what I feel I'm good at. And I want to learn, and I want to connect, and I want to see how we can do more again for the community, not just for soccer players, but, you know, all in all throughout the city of Chicago. And we're making, again, I'm going into my 8th year with this club, and I still feel new to the city compared to some of these organizations. So there's a lot of work to do. And like I said, I've enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to doing more and more. No, that was an all-around long-winded answer, but
Love it.
It was an exciting answer, because, you know, I think I think it clearly states what an awesome example you personally and your organization is for other youth sports groups to follow. And when I think about that, I get excited because, I want to ask you, how do you see League Apps helping you support you on this? You touched upon it earlier that, we do position ourselves going beyond just a relationship, all right, a transactional relationship or a business relationship. So do you see any way in particular we can help you support your goals?
Yeah, 100%. And that's, like I said earlier, that's why I jumped in on this opportunity, because I've seen it. You guys were looking at things so different. And I'd like to touch on this. When COVID started, the webinars, the videos you guys put together. I mean, it was, I needed it. I mean, and everyone at that time, when that hit, you're kind of like, what do I do? And obviously you have your own ideas, but a lot of the stories that came out of those webinars and the advice, and again, just pulling everyone together was incredible. And it kind of gave me the confidence to push through in what I believe was the right thing. In terms of refunds, credits, and all those kind of things, and just being so transparent with our parents. And I can't thank you guys enough, because I came out and I said, and I did webinars myself for the club, I think we probably did like one a month. And I just attacked this. Listen, guys, if we were to refund, our coaches will lose their jobs. And I said, look, just please trust us. And we did all our online stuff complimentary. And then we went out in the summer when we could go out, and we gave back every single hour that we do and more that we, was set up for the spring. Didn't do any refunds. And the parents, I'm so thankful for every single one of them, because they did support us and they understood it. And yeah, some queries here and there, but once you explain it and say, we all know this, like we have our fixed costs for the year and our coaches' salaries and etc. It's been tremendous. So you guys have been at the forefront of that, and I can't thank you guys enough. And moving forward, again, it's that connectivity and those ideas of like, okay. And what I like now is, like, you guys know me, our organization. So now I think you could probably help us in other ways that maybe we're not even aware of, which is, was great. And I think you guys are more than willing. And we have that relationship now where you guys can say something openly. I'm not going to take offense to it, right? But helping us move certain ways we may need to do. Like e-gaming, for example, was one that I did not have my hand on at all. And now we're looking to roll stuff out that in the next month or two. And that kind of started with you guys. I'm never forgetting, Jeremy asked it in the panel, and I was like, what's e-gaming? And I knew once he told me, but I didn't know that's what it was called, or esports or whatever. So yeah, just to have you guys pushing that kind of envelope, daily, weekly, in these conversations, and you're dealing with so many organizations nationwide. I'm excited to have you guys on board and keep helping us, reach those milestones. So.
Well, right back at you. We can't thank you enough for being a partner with League Apps, and I know that I'm personally really inspired by all the work you do on behalf of your athletes and the kids in your program and your city. And we hope to continue to support you and your creative ideas and everything you hope to achieve in the future. Before we head out here, are there any parting words for organizations listening in, whether they're soccer or other sports?
Yeah, I think it's got to be big picture every time. For me, you can't be thinking of the wins tomorrow or this season and the money that's coming in. Like, you've got to go bigger than that. And I believe, and I know because I've done it, is if you do that and like really show who you are as a leader and kind of highlight the people that are in your organization in terms of, like, your coaches. They're the biggest ones. They're on the field every day. They are the ones with the kids. They're the ones with the parents. Is giving them a voice. Like, I'm not a dictator whatsoever. Yes, I've got to make a lot of the big decisions, which I'm okay doing. But our staff, and they say it themselves when we have our workshops or our meetings, is that they feel part of this organization. They feel like their opinion matters. Like, I listen to them. They listen to each other. And we've just created this incredible culture within our club, and especially within the coaches. And if you can do that and create this team, and I know we joke online and stuff at the dream team, as we call ourselves, but if you can do that, everything else I feel will take care of itself. And we all know, we all want to feel part of something. We want to feel special. We want to feel like when we speak, we're heard. And so, bit of construction going on here. So just stick to your morals and your values and integrity. And I don't know what's going on. And just like, I know it's easy to say do it the right way, but you can. Is that really loud?
That's okay.
Oh dear. But yeah, big picture. You know, tell your story, show who you are, stick to your morals, do the right way, don't cut corners, and you should be fine. And think about, like, I'm looking down 20, 30 years hoping this organization, you know, is the best in Chicago and offers the best programming throughout. So,
well,
should I
that's
move?
okay. We're coming to the end of our time here anyway. So thanks again, Nick. We really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. You know, your community and your club is fortunate to have you. We cannot wait to see the impact, like you said, of the next 20 or 30 years. You're laying the foundation for children to thrive, and for community and your community to benefit from your hard work. And, you know, we commend everything that you do, yourself personally and your staff. Thanks for joining us again today, and we will catch up with you again soon.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. And as always, love these chats. So keep them coming.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.